Greetings, guitaristas. My name's Andy. I thought I've put heaps of YouTube videos up about desert driving, kayaking, outdoory sort of stuff based here in Dubai in the UAE. Thought today I'd do something different. I'm a guitarist. I've been a guitarist for 30 years. And I thought probably I could do a video focusing on this amplifier here. So this is the Fender Junior PRO. Now if my assistant, if the camera lady gets a close up here. So it's a super simple camera, super simple amplifier just on the top here, Sue. So it's volume and tone. The volume really should never go above 3. And the tone pretty much stays middle for diddle. I've switched it off for now. It is warmed up, the tubes are warm, but it's humming a bit at the moment, so I've just turned it off while I introduced the piece. Great amplifier, around about 15 watts, obviously Fender. It's been around forever. I like it for gigging. I play occasional gigs. I'm not like not a regular, but I like the fact that it doesn't weigh a ton. Before this I had a crate twin, and to move it around from gig to gig was an absolute pain in the hell. And also the nice thing is, you know, play gigs with other bands and things, sound engineers and people, they really appreciate somebody bringing an amp along rather than going through PA systems and plugging into direct sound. I think, you know, sound, from what I observe and from what I chat with sound technicians, I love having an amplifier to mic up and to fiddle with it a little bit. So, you know, I take it along, you practice with it, you take it along to gig nights. In a small venue, if you turn it up maximum volume with a couple of pedals to push the air, you rip the head off people in an audience. So, like I said, really the volume never goes above 3 or 4. Famously, the amp's known as the fart amplifier, because once you get it up to sort of 8 or 9, or try and max it out, the distorted tubes just sound dreadful. They sound literally like somebody farting. So that's what it's been nicknamed. But when you get that warm glow and the warmth of the tubes, it's an absolutely spectacular, great sustain, really controllable feedback, even in, you know, live situations. So you really get that sort of Hendrix vibe going in those sustained endings to songs and things like that. I really wouldn't trade it for many other amplifiers. None spring immediately in mind. There are one or two similar amps and heads that would be comparable, but this is fantastic. The only thing is, the video today, the focus of the video is how to get the most of it. I live in an apartment. If I even turn this up to 3, it's too loud for the room I'm in, it's too loud to enjoy rehearsing with, it's too loud for neighbours, it's too loud for the missus. And also, you're not getting the best out of what it has as options or its possibilities as a small practice amp. So today we'll have a look at it along with some pedals, which I think really as a player you wouldn't walk away from as far as your tone and your sound is concerned, particularly just for an indoor practice. So we'll take a pause there for a second. We'll come back with part 2. Right, so like I said, we're going to look here at the Fender Junior Pro. I have a couple of guitars here, so soon this is a beauty, inspired by the late great Kurt Cobain. This is a Fender Jag Stang. This is a Mexican, not the original Japanese. I think this is Mexican or Korean or Chinese or Vietnamese or whatever. Beautiful guitar. Very heavy strings. I play this one when you need to drop down a whole step or even to drop C. So things like lithium and aerials and things like that you would play on this. It's got a nice couple of Seymour Duncans, says modified pickups only really. Oh, and a bit of electrics. I had a kill switch fitted to it as well, which is that there. So that's quite nice when it gets plugged in. It really has a heavy a heavy sound, particularly with those pickups in. I think that's a cool rail, and I can't remember what this one is here, but anyway, a humbucker that fits into your single slot. This is a nice 72 Les Paul Gold top. It was a deluxe model, so it did have the thinner mini humbuckers, they're called the original. I still have the originals, thank goodness. But I've had these put in a couple of tilers. I'm afraid it's dusty. I don't play it all that much, this one, to be honest. It's I think it's a mahogany sandwich. It weighs an absolute ton. I shouldn't be bitching and moaning about that. It's still an absolute beast when you plug it in live, but it's not my go-to. In fact, sadly, it's looking a bit dusty at the moment, so probably needs a bit of a service and clean. Also, has been modified with a kill switch as well. Feedback between songs used to kill me on stage. So. And this is my go-to. This is we think an 83 Stratocaster, and it's the humbucker single configuration. So I forget what that is, HSS I think it's called. And this is a fantastic. This is a Texas Ranger pickup. My guitar tech, well, I don't have a guitar tech, sorry, the guy who sometimes does guitar servicing, told me it was quite a valuable pickup just by itself. And it's the classic Fender 80s, the tri-plate at the back. Fantastic guitar, you know, looks beat up to you know what, and it's been played and sweated on and played and sweated on and dropped on stage and soaked with booze and all sorts of stuff, but it plays fantastic. So that's my go-to, and we'll use that for today's demo. Right, so back to the amp. So if I turn the amp on, there is a bit of a buzz, but the tubes are warm. The worst thing that you can do with this amp, if you ever buy one, if you ever get to know one, if you go and try and play from cold to, you know, playing with a pedal or even just turning up the volume, you're going to crush a couple of valves straight away. And they do bounce back, they sort of reset or reboot. Well, I found that, I don't know if that's necessarily always the case, but you have to let it warm up. You also have to gradually increase the volume you're playing at. If you just sort of turn it on cold, hit a stomp box and expect that you're going to be ripping into sort of a slash tone or something like that, then you're not. You're going to get like that, and you'll get wonky tubes and there'll be nothing pushing through. So always best warm it up for 5 minutes, and anything that you plug in, if you can increase it manually, then do so, because or even take the edge off the guitar, because if you go like from 0 to 10, you'll end up not damaging the amp, but you won't get it at peak performance. It'll take a while to reset as well. Right, if we come in here, Sue, we'll have a little look at what's going on here. Right, this is my, for simplicity reason today, this is my pedal chain. Okay, this is probably more at the budget end of his pedal series, but for my money, it's his best pedal, and I've played quite a few of them. This is a Zvex Distortron. I think it's meant to sound like the classic Marshall, like 40 watt, I think it was called the Silver Jubilee or something, very heavily rectified sort of Marshall sound, and it's got the high and low settings. I might just actually start it on low with low subs. This one never gets turned above 3 or 4. The drive goes up to maximum always, but the volume never. The tone just edge on the treble side a little bit. So that's my Zvex Distortron. So that adds the fuzz to the sound I'm after. I have to use this. Well, I don't have to, but it was recommended on a Fender forum. I never looked back. This amp's great, and we'll play it in a minute without any pedals. It doesn't have a middle. It's like very crystally, chimey, like the classic clean Fenders are. It doesn't have a great middle, so this equalizer here, Sue, just has. It doesn't have anything low end, doesn't have anything high end. It just has a little bit of mids punched in. This is a great little thing here. This slider can increase, so it could actually act as a volume boost, or for solos and things like that. If you increase, I always just have it in the middle. So that's going to give you boost your mids a bit, and actually I find it gives you a kind of John Frusciante sort of sound. It's almost, not to say it's undetectable or indetectable, but it's very subtle. And this is the pedal that makes all the difference. Sorry, these wires are a mess, I'm sure. This is the pedal that makes all the difference to indoor practice, and it's all to do with this here. So this is a boost pedal, the RC booster. True bypass, which is same as the distortron. I don't think, unfortunately, the Boss is. True bypass means once it's off, there's nothing interfering, hopefully, with your signal chain, which means you're getting pure guitar to amp, which is what most guitarists angle for, should aim for. Now this one here, I'll demonstrate obviously when I fire it up. This volume is the key, because you can actually reduce the volume in your signal chain, but keep the distortion and the breakup in place. So you're getting a really good distorted sound, which if you were playing at say volume 3 would be peeling your face off. Due to having this volume, I can reduce it. It means I get the same sound, but effectively this is reducing the overall signal chain. So a fantastic pedal. I also use this one for a bit of obviously super simple volume tone. This adds a little bit of reverb or slapback if I want that. To keep things as simple as possible today though, that one's out of the equation. Okay. There are other things, whammies and wahs and Digitech one, things like that. But for the day, we're still going soon. For the day, we've got everything plugged in. We'll come back in a second, we'll get it switched on, we'll do some sound demos, and hopefully it'll highlight how an amp like this is fantastic in a live venue. Okay, and I can link to a few videos where I've used it live. But indoors, until I got this RC pedal, and I never figured out how to get this at a volume where you can get a good sound out of it and play it indoors. Because even on volume 1, then you're just not putting enough power into the amp tubes, the pre-tubes, there's only pre-amp tubes in there. You're not putting enough power in there to get anything out of the speaker other than a fairly weak signal. So I used this for a long time, so just this one here, which was it's great for indoor practice. Roland and Boss now, or Roland, they do a whole range of these, millions of them I think now, probably at least 50 different varieties. I always use this one. It's pure solid state dose transistor. This one, your pure valve, you're getting the warmth, you're getting the character of a valve amp, and you're getting it in. Right, so we're on volume 3, and we expect this to be a bit loud for comfortable indoor practice, sharing a room, sharing a community hall. So this is the Junior Pro clean, basically cables, guitar cables amp. So to me that's just a little bit, too loud, and also it's too chimey. Okay. It's not, it's very clean. You can hear like the crystal, they always say like the crystalline sort of tones of a Fender. I can hear that. It's a bit noisy. So the easiest thing to do is to engage the RC booster. Well, you might notice here everything's at 12, so gain, treble, bass, nothing's interfering. The only thing that's wound back here is volume. Now if I have the volume up here, say at 10 o'clock if you like, I'll get the same volume that I'm getting through the amplifier now. Okay, I've rounded back to about 7 or 8 o'clock, so I've taken the edge off it, and you'll notice if I just play this D chord again, haven't interfered with the tone or the volume of the guitar, same pickup, purely that's taking the edge off the volume. Okay, so I'm beginning to get to somewhere where I can, well, now I can practice indoors, no major dramas. I like the mids a bit, so like I said, that's us just guitar, boost down, put a bit of mids in there. And what I might do here, just slide that up to sort of 6 or 7 rather than 5. Just gives me a little bit of something, gives me a little bit of mids. I prefer it, particularly when we throw the distortion into the equation as well. Okay, so what I'm looking for most of my practice is a slashy type distortion. I just like it for most things, whether I'm playing a bit of Hendrix or Leonard Skinner or obviously Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters. I just find it's a nice tone. It covers most bases. Okay. So with the boost volume decreased, with the mids just popping a little bit, I throw in the distortion now. Happy with that sound. Okay. So you've got like a nice, warm, and the key to this is, if I just put the guitar down carefully, what I don't want to do is, so if you just pop in here, Sue, you see what's happening here, and if you get in nice to those tubes, they're glowing nicely, okay, and I think what's happening there is that the distortion's pushing through the volumes up at 3. The amplifier thinks it's on stage, burning through a live performance. It probably doesn't realise that the RC booster's taking the edge off the volume. So this is great. This is almost like having, I know it's not revolutionary, in fact I'm sure there's 1,000,001 videos about people using this for exactly the same reason, but it just means that a volume that you can't play comfortably at home, you can dial back the volume using the pedal. I've got basically a live, you wouldn't get a better live sound than that. I mean, you wouldn't, with a bit of reverb just added, which the additional pedal does. That's a great sound. Okay, if I take it down to drop D, which I can do just very quickly, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to max out this distorter on. So I'm on subs 3 and high gain. Okay, peeled off the volume again, haven't changed that, haven't changed the mids, and we're just on volume 3 here. Okay, I'm going back to my humbucker here. Love a bit of slither. Okay, so note out. Let's go again. Nice bit of sustain, and you do have a real crunch going on there with the distortion pushing through the amp. So they're going to be glowing pretty hot behind the Fender grill. It's only this RC that's taking the edge off them. So we'll finish off here just with a little one of my favourites, just to jam to highlight the tone, the sound that we've got going on here. Let's say this isn't like this wasn't intended to showcase my playing, which is ordinary at best. It's not to show any live. This is, I thought it'd be useful. Somebody's got this amplifier, maybe they're not getting the most out of it. You turn it up too much, you get a pretty faulty, distorted sound, and you can't play it indoors comfortably. You don't play it loud enough, you don't get enough signal through, you get like a weak, chimey sort of half Fender tone, which doesn't do the amp justice. You plug this in indoors, guitar tech will tell you to turn it down to 3 straight away, and you wouldn't want to turn it above that. It is a powerful amp. I've played with the outdoor venues before, and sound techs, engineers, are always surprised how powerful this amplifier is. So at volume 3 indoors, I wouldn't be able to play it, particularly with the distortion added to the mix and stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to. So the RC booster with the volume rolled back is the key to this video. And probably guessed, I'm not sponsored by any of these products, but I would recommend the RC because there are probably similar alternatives. I think that the actual one you would buy for a larger valve amp would be an attenuator, which takes a wattage down. And some valve amps like the Marshall 1 watts and the Champ and some of the 5 watt options and things like that, they have a built-in attenuator so you can reduce wattage. But I don't think you're losing any of the glow on those tubes by playing this how I'm playing. I think you get a fantastic sound. So I'm going to finish with a nice little jam track. Just easy going. Like I say, I'm not showcasing my guitar playing. I'm just showcasing, hopefully, an indoor volume. I'm playing indoors here. There's no neighbours going to be hammering on the door. There's nobody being affected in the hallway, things like that. It's quite an easy indoor volume. And it can go down a bit lower, and you still get the same glow from the tubes, the same air being pushed, just a slightly lower volume. But for the camera and for the recording, which by the way has just been done on a Sony smartphone, we'll keep the volume where it is now.